welcome to Craft With Me Wednesday. Today, the craft is cooking. We're gonna make whoopie pies, peanut butter whoopie pies. So thank you to Brian Chef Elliott for sending me the recipe, and we're gonna get started. So we need a cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. Each stick is a half a cup. It says on the side, it's not something like I was born with that knowledge. I'm not a chef. Yeah. So we're gonna put in the butter. We are gonna mix that with 1 egg. Now, meanwhile, I need to preheat the oven to 375, so I'm gonna do that. Easy enough. Okay, we need the egg. 1 egg. I just bought Eggland's Best. Yes, I don't know why. I love Eggland's Best. I don't have to worry about whether they're cracked or, you know, growing funky things. I'm gonna put the rest in the refrigerator. So I'm just gonna tell you guys that this morning, it wasn't a good morning, you know. Like I've been saying, Groundhog Day, and then I checked my email from work, and I should do like what Rachel Ray does and put, you know, a garbage bowl. Here, okay, we have a garbage bowl. How cool is that? Okay, so let's mix this up together. Anyway, it was not a good morning. I checked my email, and they wanted to, I don't know, I wasn't feeling right anyway, and the email was that they want nurses that are in like my type of position to be deputized and take this class and work in the ICU or acute care setting. And I just cannot do that. I just, you know, I suffer from depression, anxiety, and one of the major reasons I suffer from that is the long nursing career that I had and the risk management experience that I had, because I've just seen so much that I can't cope with it anymore. So I wrote my boss after, you know, crying a little bit. When I have my anxiety attacks, my heart starts racing and I start crying like uncontrollably. So I calmed myself down, and I wrote back to my boss, and I said, you know, I really don't, you know, I'm sorry, but I just don't think that I can do this. You know, I suffer from clinical depression and anxiety, and I think my condition would worsen if I had to work in one of these positions. And she wrote back and she said, you know, I understand, and I'll let them know that you're not available to work in those capacities. I'm like, oh, thank God. You know, I'm okay working in employee health, answering phones, but I can't do clinical stuff anymore. I'm almost 60 years old. My knee is killing me. I'm supposed to have knee replacement, and I can't do it. Okay, so we need 1 cup of white sugar. White sugar. Where's my cup? Oh, okay. We'll use this. This works. So if you want to know, have I cleaned out the baking spice cabinet yet? The answer is not yet. This will help because, you know, I'm using some of the ingredients that were down there. All right, so I live in Kansas, but I spent the last 40 years in Florida, and in Florida, you put everything in a plastic bag. I probably don't need to do that here in Kansas, but, you know, because of the humidity in Florida and the bugs, I'm just so accustomed to putting everything into a bag. So, you know, that's why you see the bag. And it's probably strange to some of you, unless, you know, you're like me or Mickey and you live in Florida, then you'd understand. Okay, cup of sugar. All right, let's mix that up. So I could make regular whoopie pies, but I love peanut butter. And Rivka's Crafting Corner I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think I butcher it every time. She was in my live yesterday and she said, oh, I'm making these peanut butter whoopie pies. And I'm like, oh, please, somebody send me the recipe. So that's why I'm doing this. So we're gonna mix all this sugar in. Then we need to put in a half a cup of hot water. Let me turn the water on because it takes a few seconds to get hot. All right, that's pretty good. It's all mixed together. Okay, we need the vanilla. How much vanilla? I think it's probably a teaspoon. It's usually always a teaspoon of vanilla. And yes, I'm following a recipe. I always follow a recipe. So it is a teaspoon, and I like to measure everything out. That's the way I am. Some people can just like eyeball it and throw it in. I just never been that way. I don't know why. I've got to measure everything. Okay, let's get, okay, I have here, one of the dry ingredients is this Hershey's Cocoa, half a cup. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the bowl, the dry ingredient bowl, so that I can use this half a cup for the hot water. Okay, we got hot water, half a cup. It's this setup. My kitchen is so wonderful because like this is like one of these all-in-one homes. Like my dining room is right here. Here's the kitchen. The entrance is over here. The living area is here. I got this big sliding glass door where the dogs are sitting because I have the door open today. It's beautiful outside. I was going to work last night and like all of a sudden I just noticed that all these gorgeous blooms are on these trees. Like I don't even think they were there 3 or 4 days ago, and now they're there and they're just beautiful. They're white. I don't know what they're called. Like I said, I'm not from around here, so but they're beautiful, and like they just came out of nowhere. So spring is here, thank God. And then you know, the other thing that kind of set me off too this morning was my boss was saying that the census in the hospital is actually low because they have not hit their peak here in Kansas yet. They expect the peak for Kansas to be next week, if you can believe that. So, you know, if this thing is not near being over. So we need flour, baking soda. Let's put that in the dry ingredients. How much flour? A teaspoon of baking soda and 2 cups of flour. Okay, so we're gonna put the sugar away. Remember when you used to have Tupperware and everything was in the Tupperware? I guess they still have Tupperware. All right, so we got flour here. I don't know if there's 2 cups in here, but I have some in here too. So hopefully this will end this bag of flour and I can toss it. That will help me clean my, spring clean my cabinet down there. Because I already got the cocoa's done, so I can throw that out. So that's one less thing. So we needed 2 cups of flour. Okay, that's good. This is done, garbage. Okay, yep, we need a little bit more flour, and I think maybe this one will be done too. Woohoo. I have more flour, trust me. Down in the bottom of the cupboard, there's a whole new bag of flour. I always stock up on this stuff. Don't ask me why. I'm always afraid I'm gonna run out. And Brian, do you know, I still have not bought raisins. That's just a joke between him and I. But put it on my shopping list, still haven't bought it. I thought about it when I was in the baking aisle, but I didn't see any. All right, just a little bit more. And believe it or not, there's still flour left in here, goodness. Not a lot, but we'll just put it back in here. Okay. Now I put that into the dry ingredients. Now we need a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda is a leavening agent, in case you didn't know, and that's what makes what you're doing rise. So there we go, baking soda. And then what I like to do with my dry ingredients is I just like to kind of mix them up a little bit. Some people call it sifting. I want to make sure that baking soda is kind of really mixed in there good. The cocoa powder. Boy, I hope this turns out good. We'll see. I've never made these before, so. Okay, what are we missing? We added the vanilla. Did we add the vanilla? We did add the vanilla. Okay. Cocoa powder, flour, baking soda, sugar, butter, egg. Okay, so we just need to start putting this in. But I like to just do it like a little bit at a time, or else you're gonna have flour flying everywhere. Okay, I just heard the oven, it is preheated. So it's saying that you drop from a teaspoon onto a cookie sheet. A teaspoon, really? That seems very small for a whoopie pie, doesn't it? I don't know. I was thinking like maybe, I need my scraper, like maybe an ice cream scooper would do it. I don't know. I love my spatula. Oh my gosh. I just kind of like go around the rim because you see that butter that sticks on the rim. All right, here we go. I don't like the mixer to go too fast, and I love a hand mixer. I have tried the bowl mixer, but I have been using a hand mixer most of my life. Where does the milk come in? Oh, the milk is for the frosting. Okay, because I'm like, I didn't add any milk. So yeah, I've been using a hand mixer pretty much my entire life, and the bowl to me was awkward. I'm sure I could get used to it. My mother bought me this knockoff. It wasn't a KitchenAid, it was a knockoff, and probably that's the reason I didn't really care for it, because it was a knockoff and it just was not, it's like ordering a diamond painting from AliExpress and getting a, double-sided adhesive, and it's just not great, And if that's what you start out with, you kind of have a bad impression, so. My daughter has a KitchenAid mixer and she loves it. So, but I don't, I say I don't do enough baking to get a KitchenAid mixer, but I probably do. I could, maybe save up my Kohl's cash and get one. They're still pretty expensive. So this is blending very nicely. It's supposed to make a dozen whoopie pies. And guys, just so you know, I am not eating all this. The bread pudding that I made the other day, last week, I froze most of it. I divided it into portions and I froze it. I have a small freezer out in the garage that I use. And when I bake stuff like these whoopie pies, because I cannot mail one to each of you, I would love to do that. But as slow as the mail is, it would be pretty stale by the time it got to you. So I will just freeze some. I'll leave like 1 or 2 out and then just put the rest in there. Okay. I got dishes to do. Woohoo. All right, so start slow because I put a lot in here. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Oh, whoopie pies, freezing stuff. I do the same thing when I go to like Dillon's. Well, see, in Kansas we have a store called Dillon's. We don't have a Publix like they have in Florida. Oh my God, I miss Publix. Oh, it's the best grocery store ever. I don't really like Dillon's, but anyway, when they have the meats on sale, like buy one, get one, or, I will stock up and I'll freeze them, or I'll buy that, that, I call it a loaf of chicken breast, that big thing of chicken breast that's like $10. I'll get that and I'll divide it up into single portions and put it in the freezer, and then I just get them out one at a time. And it saves me money. Sometimes I'll get an extra one out if I want to, give the dogs a treat and mix it into their bowl. All right, let me just scrape the sides here. How did we get all this? We got flour everywhere. Too funny. Oh, Brian, I wish you lived near me. Because you gave me this idea, and Rivka, you already made them for yourself. I wish I could share. But, maybe we don't want to share. Let's see how they turn out first. So, before we talk about sharing. This is kind of really thick. My goodness. All right. Let me just give it another spin around here. Okay. We're good. And this is the part where if you have a little one, you give them the things to lick. Not bad. Tastes pretty good. Oh boy, do I have some dishes to do. Whew. Okay, now we need to get a pan ready. I got the peanut butter, the milk out for later. I used all that. I'm just making sure I put all the ingredients in. All right, let's get the pan. Now, I do like this Reynolds nonstick. I always put that on my baking sheet just because it's so much easier to use. So I put that on my baking sheet. Shiny. It has a dull side and a shiny side. So I put the shiny side up. And this is nonstick. It's so wonderful. It really is. All right, let me get an ice cream scoop. I'm thinking this should do it, don't you? That's more than a teaspoon, but we'll see. I'm just going to make a couple, and well, it doesn't want to come out, does it? All right. I'll make a couple to see if that's big enough or too big or whatever. All right, let's see. I think that'll be okay. We shall see. I kind of want to make them the same size. All right, we're just going to do those two because I want to see how they come out. Now, how long are they going into the oven? 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, we'll put those in the oven. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Okay, and we will be back in 10 minutes. Okay, welcome back. So while those whoopie pies are cooking, I have going to make the center, the peanut butter center. It's going to be delicious. So I put a tablespoon of butter in here. I'm going to put a half a cup of milk, a quarter cup of peanut butter. So we can get it out here. Peanut butter. Yum, it's Jif. How could you go wrong, right? And, I just put like a teeny extra for good measure, because I just love peanut butter. Okay. There's our peanut butter. And we have 1 3/4 cups of confectioner sugars. We're gonna put that in there. Then we're gonna mix it up and see what happens. It's gonna be yummy. All right, start it slow because this is powdered sugar, so it's gonna fly if you put the mixer too high. So you don't wanna do that. All right, so this is all stuff I gotta wash later. I did a little cleanup while we were gone, while I was getting the ingredients ready. Here's our whoopie pie dough. And it looks like what I did is a perfect size. So we're gonna go with that size when I make the rest. Wow, this looks kind of soupy. don't know, guys. We might have to add more sugar. I don't know. I need my spatula. Get this off the sides. It doesn't look thick enough, does it? Let's see what it says. Where did I go wrong? Oh, add enough milk to make frosting soft enough to spread. So I probably didn't need to add all of that milk. Oh well. So when you make a mistake, I think we're just going to add some more sugar and peanut butter. All right, we will add more peanut butter. We're just going to basically double the recipe. Yes, we are. Peanut butter. No, I'm not measuring because this is the frosting, you know. Okay, what else? Oh, more confectioner's sugar. Yay. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Oh my God. Ambulance is going by. I don't know what that's all about. So today I went to Walmart because I still don't have dog food. I am totally out of dog food. So I had to go buy some. So I think it helped my anxiety. I just walked around Walmart. Those are the weirdest sounding ambulances. They really are. All right. So we just doubled the recipe. This should be better. Next time, read the directions on your recipe. This should be much better, but we're gonna have leftover peanut butter filling, I think. Unless I just put a lot more than it calls for in there, you know, yummy. It's probably something you could freeze too and just, you know, make another batch another time, I guess. I'm out of cocoa powder, as you saw. I used up the last of it. Oh my God, this looks good now. It's thickening up. Boy, we had soup before. You never know what you're going to get when you craft with Rebecca on Wednesdays. Oh my God, this looks so yummy. Oh, tastes fantastic. Okay, be right back. Hey everybody, we're back. Okay, I've got the first batch. They're not all alike, but you know what? I'm gonna make it work. Oh, here's my drink, sorry. I'm gonna make it work. I still got some batch. I got some in the oven, but here's what we're gonna do. I've let these cool. I'm trying to figure out like same size maybe. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So we're going to put just a whole big dollop of this on here. Yum! Oh my God. All right. Then we're just kind of going to smush it together. Oh, yeah. Yum. Okay, there's a little, look how good that is. That's one. That's a big one. I will be freezing these. I guarantee you, because wow, holy moly. I think it's gonna make more than 10. I don't know. All right, let's just smush it down. Look how good that looks. Wow. Okay, it's not, you know, an exact, it doesn't look like the picture, but, you know, whatever. My dog is looking at me like, oh, Mom, can I have some? No, you cannot. Oh, look. Yum. All right, so that made 3. The first one that I made, I already took a bite. It was so good. This is the one I made to check the size, so, so good. So these are my whoopie pies. I'm gonna continue making them. I'm gonna freeze all but like 1 or 2, I promise. And guys, thanks for coming on this journey with me. Just another day in paradise. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.